place to be here on a Monday afternoon. It is Crossing Lines, and boy, do we have a show for you. The laughs have already started right now. You see the screen right now. It's your boy Donnie Rightside. That's not Jeff Nadu. He's popping on a plane to go out to Las Vegas, and over the next 8 shows, it's going to be your boy, Joey Mulberry, Joey Lisi, sitting in here. A proper introduction, Joe Lisi. How do we feel today? It's a Monday. It's time to get rolling, man.
Oh, this is great, Donnie. And we wish Jeff the best out in Vegas. Hope he kicks ass and makes a lot of money. I already saw that he's manifesting his house in the Jersey Shore down in Ocean City. So hopefully that plays out and he wins first place. But this is great, Donnie. World Cup action, Major League Baseball, 61 days away from college football. This is what it's all about. Maybe, just maybe, Donnie, we could talk some NFL as well. Sad news out of the NFL as well with Chris Johnson battling ALS. Terrible story.
Terrible story it is here. I'm trying to get, I don't know why I lost my little chat box links. There we go. Now I'm in the chat box. Lisi looking good. DRS looking good. Welcome in at this point right now. And also understand this. As Joe is going to be here for the next 8 days, we're building this thing. We're having fun. We hit the afterburners in August, as we said. I did a lot, Joe, of social media researching over the weekend. Even got myself a separate phone to be unleashed on videos. No more tethering at this point, but we're on Rumble, Kick, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. So if you are watching right now on YouTube, you got to get in here. You have to hit the subscribe button, like, and comment. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the hit the retweet button to get us out there more. Joe, it's time to go viral, and it's time to have some fun. It's just, like, it feels good with you here on a Monday to get it started, knowing, like, you're not going to be away in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. 8 straight days at least.
This is it. Can we get the Nelk Boys involved? You're on
Do they?
Are you
Nelk Boys, hit the retweet. Are you out there? Let me see. I'm looking at the chat. I don't see him in there yet.
The Nelk Boys actually work out. They're hitting the gym hard. One of the trainers I follow on Instagram. But let me just say this. Kick, what are you hanging out with Clavicular?
Yes.
Clavicular's, you're doing a live stream.
Who's the other guy? Androgynous? Who is it? Clavicular Andro, man?
It's a whole big thing. And he just had surgery in Switzerland. His face looks like he
banged up his nose, Joe. Who got the chisel out there, man?
He looks worse after the surgery, Donnie. I'm all up on the Instagram influencers and stuff like that. So this is what it's all about. World Cup action on the horizon. I might have a pick in this World Cup. Brazil and Japan. Very interesting matchup. I'm chomping at the bit.
Chomping at the bit. And by the way, some people might be watching this, but I don't understand. Why is Joe Lee Sr. and Jeff Nadu? Again, Jeff is in Las Vegas playing in the World Series of Poker, giving away 10% of his winnings if he cashes in. If Jeff ends up winning $15 million, he's probably going to stiff you on that 10%. No, I'm just kidding. Jeff's very generous out there. He's going to give you that 10% and let it rip. But Joe, let's get some background checks on Joe Lisi, because I sent out a Twitter piece today. Like, I'm ready. Like, if you don't know who I am, you're an idiot. And you like us world-class wide receivers scoring touchdowns out there left and right, Joe. Tell the people about Joey Bag of Donuts here and, where the rings are. Do you have a ring on that finger?
No rings, Donnie. No rings. Okay. I know you got the ring from William Patterson back in South Jersey. I'm a North Jersey guy. Played at Don Bosco, but played college ball at Gettysburg as well. But I've been with Sports Grid for 12 years. Just left. I work with Donnie, work with Jeff actually as well. Back in the day, we spoke at the Golden Nugget, 2018, 2019, out in Vegas. Part of the FWAA, which is the Football Writers Association of America, do a podcast weekly during the college and NFL season with former National Coach of the Year, Terry Bowden. Also work with my good friend Mike Carver throughout the football season. We did have a show, Carver and Lisi, on Sirius XM. Love talking Big Fly, love Alton Major League Baseball totals. And like I said, Donnie, cannot wait for NFL and college action. College just 61 days away. NFL, obviously, Labor Day weekend, the week after that Thursday. Nothing better. We'll talk Pat Mahomes, Sean McVay's body, and let's get it on. This is it, Donnie.
Now, also, I got to ask you this too as well, because we always talked about Joey crypto at this point, and what Michael Saylor's doing out here.
Right. He's getting crushed.
Bitcoin out here is tanking. Who's paying bills out here with crypto?
Well, here's the thing now. It's a conflicting story with Saylor, right? The stock price for MicroStrategy is like $86, but supposedly they think that they can obviously force him out of his positions. He claims no, that if the stock went to $1, he wouldn't be forced out, that they still have like 30 plus years to pay. That is, I guess, the conflicting battle. But the hedge funds, once they know that, they smell blood in the water. They want to force him out and pound crypto. It's never recovered since it got up to 124,000, but we'll see. I mean, Dogecoin getting crushed, Shiba getting crushed, all the, secondary cryptos.
How about XRP, Joe? I hear he used to be pumping XRP in the past. You still pumping that?
Well, I mean, I think it got as high as like 370, 380, and they crushed it down to like $1. It was like down $1.50 overnight when they had the wash with the crypto markets. But I've been waiting, seeing what happens. But there's some other stuff out there that I think you could jump into. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Gamble and invest at your own risk. But we love to play this game and love talking about it.
Absolutely. And by the way, big things also over the weekend, Joe. World Cup action, Major League Baseball action, hanging around me. I had some really good food. I had a fantastic Italian dinner the other day. Also, fantastic tacos as well around the corner. So I really enjoyed myself this weekend. But I'll tell you what. Like, watching sports on the weekend a little bit different than we're doing a show Monday through Friday. Like, I do like the World Cup. Didn't watch a lot of the World Cup, but I am very much, Joe, invested in Team USA. Now, Jeff, as you know, which is usually with the host, he bangs on USA every time. Like, I'm cheering the U.S. on. They're going to have action on Wednesday, but did you have any action or have any fun this weekend watching the World Cup? Or you're like me, where it's like, all right, I'm invested sort of, but I just like to wait until the U.S. gets back into action.
Well, I watched the U.S. Now, Canada did get the 1-0 win over South Africa. They advanced, and obviously I am curious about the Japan-Brazil matchup because, again, Japan did knock them off 3-2. What was it, back in November? So I'm always intrigued with these rematches to see how they play out. Again, here's the thing that I want to recommend for the casual watcher, right?
That's me.
Me too, Donnie. I'll say this. When I'm out, Jersey Shore, you're out at a restaurant, they have soccer and the World Cup on, I'll watch it along with the golf. And I will talk about Scheffler blowing that lead in the back end yesterday, which was crazy, to Victor Hovland. But what is incredible is when you look at just the matchup for the USA and you look at everything and knowing that it's in New Jersey and just how much interest is involved for the casual fan. And we know about eye candy. Jeff talks about eye candy all the time. I love the eye candy. Why don't they have a simulcast with just one camera right in the stands for the like I would watch it probably 24 hours a day. So you have the soccer on the left and a split screen like us on the right with the eye candy. I don't want to see a casual shot.
You don't want to see the 45-year-old guy that's like a fan out here. Here's what you want to see, Joe. Slow motion camera on select people in the audience. Once a goal happens, you're jumping up and down like this, Joe. I mean, that's really what the people come for. That because you might not be involved in Senegal, you might not like Cape Verde, but you do like their fan bases more than the teams out there. I agree.
Absolutely. And everybody talks about the tailgating experience.
Correct.
Right? So why not do that? I think that would be perfect. You would probably have ratings through the roof.
Would have ratings through the roof at this point now. If we do take a look, Joe, and by the way, setting up this week's action, Team USA is going to play Wednesday. We've got Major League Baseball all the way through tomorrow. The start of free agency in the NBA, which we're already getting news. We'll have a breaking news segment a little bit later, Joe. But a lot of things happening this week. Like when we talk about the dead parts, I always say, Joe, today is June the 29th. In a couple days, we're going to start July. And that means teams are headed to training camp in the NFL, and away we go. So it's nice that we have some nuggets of information that we can pass on today and not just, we can't talk about anything towards football at this point, right? Come on.
No, of course. Yeah. This is where, when you talk about off-season, and we talk about the draft and then the dead period, and then camp opens up in just a couple of weeks, this is where you could potentially get a jump on certain types of aspects, whether it be, divisional matchups, NFC, AFC championship odds. But I'll just say this, Donnie, and I know we're going to dive deeper. Based off of what you sent me yesterday and the picture that we saw, I'm willing to pull the trigger. Justin Fields, week 1 starter
come on, it's
in
not
Kansas City.
It's not happening. Week one buried under the stadium in Kansas City at this point. That's what they're going to do.
He's got his bad bod.
I mean, we're going to get there too. Like the difference between what you can do in football shape and what you can't do, and it doesn't even matter on some guys. Like, yeah, the guy doesn't work out, so what, he still dominates out there on the football field. But let's flip it over a little bit. This fun soccer talk. Yesterday, Joe, Canada goes to the 90-minute plus mark. 1-0 over South Africa, advances in the knockout stage. The Canadians were rocking and rolling in LA, Joe, and they want some more. They're moving on.
Yeah, this is when you see Canada win, right, and move on, I think this puts even more pressure on the U.S.-Bosnia matchup, right? Because now USA has all this expectation. You saw, and I don't want to make the similarity, but the USA hockey winning gold just a few months ago brings a lot of pressure on this team. And so now people are looking, okay, this is potentially the best team that the U.S. has fielded in the last, 10, 15 years. Now you have to put up or shut up, and this is a game against Bosnia that they should win. If they lose this matchup, Donnie, I mean, they're going to hear it.
Yeah. They're absolutely going to hear it here. You know what else they're hearing it in the chat box right now? People popping in left and right saying hello. Love to see that. Twitter out there. Shout it out, people. I know we don't see you commenting through Twitter at this point, but I know you're watching here. And even the people, Joe, out there on Rumble. You ever been on Rumble, Joe? You're live on Rumble right now, man.
No, I don't know where Rumble is. I
have a Kick account and a Rumble account right now. I'm telling you, over the weekend, I got social media wised up here. I'm going to be live. Hey, catch me on Rumble with a free play today tonight, Joe.
Well, I got to get with Clav and see if the jawline's in order. I tell you what,
not
bad for 50 plus. I think I could be like the Golden Bachelor. Not that I'm tooting my horn, but I'm just saying, give me a go. I don't have gray hair yet. Give me a shot. I'd like to hand out roses.
Absolutely. By the way, let's get some things off here at this point too, Joe, because we got action today out there on the pitch. If we're taking a look at Brazil, Japan, 1 p.m. Eastern, which means, Joe, in roughly 45 minutes, they're getting underway. So let me go to my handy-dandy list here on what we have. I'm going World Cup. I'm seeing a heavy favorite today for the Brazilians. Minus 300, Japan plus 230. Let me ask this question to start off.
Go ahead.
What are the odds here on just like the fan base that we would like to see on TV? Minus, Brazil, minus what? 1,500, 2,000?
No, 2,000.
More?
How about 100,000? Yes.
Wow.
Are you kidding? Brazil?
Hey.
Yeah, Donnie, come on. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I would put Brazil right up there along with any of the other countries. I want to see that fan base more than anything else. But I will say you put up the score 28-8 all time. Now, we did say that Japan won 3-2 in November. Here's the thing. When you see like rematch type of situations, right? I feel like, the perception is, the Brazilians are going to step up and obviously dominate. And that's why you're seeing Japan across multiple books plus 240, right? But I like to take the other approach. I like to think all the pressure's on Brazil in this type of situation because it is the round of 32. They lost their last matchup about 6 months ago. I would be more inclined to take a shot on Japan plus, 240 or in that area to potentially strike the upset. I will say this, in the round of 32, I will in this, it's more like hockey, right? Game 7 type of matchup. I think all of these games, because 3-2, you think over potentially 2.5, 3 goals, I would take the other way and say all these round of 32 games potentially go under the total because they're tight.
Gambling gods are telling you this, Joe. Ready? You in here? I'm going to talk about the gambling gods. Think about this.
Good luck to Lisi taking Brazil today.
That's what they're the gods are talking down from up there at this point. Now, you know as well as I do, when we watch out here, it's like, okay, if Brazil's going to win, and let's just see what the total comes in at. Let's just call it 3 goals possibly in this game.
Okay.
Somebody's got to score some goals. Sometimes it's from Brazil's side. And for me, and I was asking, Jeff last week,
Right.
Like, you could tell, really, like, I'm not going to say to myself, like, okay, Lucas Paqueta or Vinicius Jr. Like, by the way, plus money across. Like, no minus 500 to score a touchdown here, Joe. Vinicius Jr. plus 140 at it. Is he making the card today?
Yeah, well, according to my former partner, Mikey C, he likes to call him Mikey Vinny from the neighborhood, Vinny Jr. So plus 140.
Vinny Fafali.
He's from 86th Street in Brooklyn. No, I'm just kidding. But no,
He was in Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way, great movie, by the way. At the end, he shoots him. What are you going to do?
Now your spoilers out here for a 40-year-old movie. What are you doing?
Oh, come on. They're remaking Heat, which, by the way, is one of my favorite movies. Yeah, so Vinny Jr. on the Brazilian side, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I think Japan wins. I'm taking a shot plus 240.
Wow. Plus money.
I am. Yeah, you ready for this? I kill pronunciation, so bear with me. Junya Ito. Plus 550.
I know where he plays.
Japan. What do you think?
Now, is he related to Judge Ito back in the OJ trial? We got OJ on the show. We're all coming together.
Lance Ito. Wasn't the kicker from Rutgers when they beat?
Yes. Didn't they call him Judge Ito? By the way, I remember that when they beat Rutgers too. They had the moving camera that they had, and they brought it right over his head, like pointed at the camera.
Yes,
like, that's a G shot right there. Yep. See that?
I was there. We bought those tickets.
Was Ray Rice in the house? Who was was Leonard there? Fullback?
Brian Leonard, Mike Teal, and Ray Rice were there back in the day. Yeah, we bought those tickets in the off season in like June, and we got them for like $50. And then who knew
really
at the time?
By the way, I'll tell you one thing. Like, we get sidetracked on this, and we're going to do it all day. Like, I really thought West Virginia was going to pound that Rutgers team on that primetime game, and Rutgers gave it to them, man. Was it Slayton?
Smashed.
Who was it? Steve? Pat White, Steve Slayton.
Yeah. Rich Rod's back too. Rich Rod's back at his alma mater. He's got it rolling. They were covering machines towards the end of the regular season last year.
They were
covered against Houston. They played very well. So we'll see. You got me chomping.
Now we got chomping. By the way, go ahead.
Would you take Japan?
I'm taking Vinicius today. Vinicius gets a goal today. Yeah. Now, Vinny Jr. You always have to get the guy that scores like the penalty kicks, who gets to take them. Who's is the penalty? Anybody in the chat box know, or behind the scenes? Who's the penalty kick guy for Brazil? Is it Vinny? That's what I need to know.
That I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm out here. I'm a casual fan with the soccer, but I would. Vinny Jr. to me is my guy. Mikey C is my World Cup aficionado. He tells me he's got great value today. I'm going to roll with it, but I do like Japan outright. Outright, Donnie.
By the way,
Mr.
Coach,
outright they call
Coach in the chat box, this went from a Philly show to a Jersey show. How about that, man? It's chiming in at this point.
Absolutely. There you go.
Tell me to jinx Vinny Jr. out there. The admin's getting on me now. I'm not jinxing Vinny Jr. We're scoring a goal with Vinny Jr. By the way, they always say everything is built better in Germany, Joe, which includes minus 750 as the favorite over Paraguay today. Now, you're always a guy that likes to line up on things and say, I like to take, dog prices here. You're going with little Japan, land of the rising sun. Germany, minus 750. What is closer back for this one? Come on.
Yeah, no, I can't take Paraguay in this game. Can't.
Paraguay.
You know what? No, I can't. I mean, they gave up 4 goals to the U.S., right, in round one?
Do that.
I can't do that. I mean, to me, goaltending's a problem, defense is a problem, and Germany, that hasn't been playing all that well up until this point in a must-win game, minus 700, it's there for a reason. So I'm not going to get in front of that. We'll see exactly how this game plays out, but I think they probably grind out a 2-0 win in that area. Again, I don't want to step in front of that train. I feel more confident with Japan in that type of situation because they did win about 6 months ago. I'll take a shot in that scenario as opposed to this one.
Alex C is telling you Rafinha in the previous game going to get that banged up here. See what happens. Maybe that is who takes the penalty kicks then, Joe. Rafinha actually
It's possible.
Possible. Now, how about this one, Joe?
Number.
What about the anytime goal scoring? And again, everybody is plus money here. The German. Dennis Undav, Kai Havertz, Florian Wirtz. Look at that, man.
Florian Wirtz. I mean, now we're seeing movement up to minus 750
Team Adidas.
Now.
It's close. It's a blowout. It looks like we're getting a blowout in this one, Joe. Blowout.
How about Havertz? At plus 120 anytime. I don't like first goal scores. I'll just say that. You
don't get wiped out. Yeah, you don't get the first goal, you get the next 2. It's like, what the hell am I doing? Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If the game is 1-0, you might get the goal with, 89 minutes in?
Yep.
That's always a tough thing. You're waiting the whole game. I still like any time when you get plus money, I'll take a shot. Again, I don't see any way Paraguay, to me, wins this game, so I would only look on the Germany side. I'll take Havertz at plus 120 in this matchup.
There you go. Rolling through the soccer card today. And by the way, just taking a look at the brackets here. A lot of teams left in it. And also, a lot of people screaming and moaning, Joe, because you know me. I love college football expansion in the playoffs. I think it's great. I love March Madness expansion because it gives me more games to watch, more things to sort of handicap, and teams are going to try. Like, people are, I don't like the fact that there's 3 games. What? Like, you liked one game yesterday where you watch in the afternoon, got nothing at night? You got to completely stop. Like, look at the bracket, Joe. A lot of teams in there, and you slide it all the way down. You see the U.S. down against Bosnia.
Yeah, well, I mean,
come on.
Yeah. Bang. That helps the U.S., though, Johnny. That helps the U.S. That's why there's more pressure. If the U.S. loses this game, right, and you're going to say the U.S. is like Tulane in college football. One and done. Now,
by the way, we're going to get to the U.S. and
teams.
But again, if the U.S. loses in this knockout stage, it is going to be upsetting because I do believe. Let me just go back and check to see what that odds board is looking at for that game on Wednesday. Slide it down. Like, U.S. is a massive favorite. If you tell me now the U.S. wins their group, Joe, the U.S. wins a knockout round, success. Extend Pochettino. Extend Pochettino.
Yes, extend. That's what you have to do. When you have the lead, I have a couple of sayings. Extend. That's what you want. You're up 1-0. You want to extend to 2-0, 3-0. But you have to get there,
parking the bus, man. I don't like parking the bus in soccer. Go 1-0 and you're like the 1990s Jersey Devils. Don't do it, man. Forward.
Doesn't style points matter? Points. Like if you're the U.S., don't you want to pound this team 4-0, 3-0? Exactly. Don't you want to just beat them into oblivion? You grind out a 1-0 victory, you're going to be like, okay, it's great, but now we're still worried about big picture. Can we compete with the likes of Argentina, which, by the way, has an easy ride potentially to the title game?
By the way, let's hit the next at 9 o'clock tonight, Joe. Netherlands, Morocco. Now, we just talked about like Brazil. Let's just call it minus 300. Germany, minus 750. Netherlands, minus 156 here. Morocco. 2 clashes of culture getting after it here.
Yeah, I would probably take a shot with Morocco. I think I would take a shot.
Lay the juice, Joe. Stop it, man. Don't lay it.
Then lay it, Donnie.
I was laying.
Yeah, I know. No, you were. I was taking, Donnie.
Yep.
That's why you had the money waiting for me.
Smarten up, man. Smarten up. By the way, anytime goal scorer, Netherlands, Morocco tonight. Daniel Melin, Brian Broby, Cody Gakpo. I never heard of any of these guys. Oh, look at this name. Tijani Reginders, plus 390. Joe, again, everybody plus money. We always like the NFL. Oh, McCaffrey to score a touchdown, minus 210. Look at this, man. It's plus all over the place.
This is a game where, again, when you see this, you're like throwing a dart. I would take a shot on Diaz, plus 320. Brahman Diaz.
Joey Coco Diaz.
Coco Diaz is getting into shape. He's working out in Jersey, by the way, with his niece.
GLP-1s?
Sweaty girl.
What's he on over there?
His niece is a fitness trainer in Jersey. I know.
I'm correct?
Fitness. Her name is, tagline is sweatygirl.com.
Where's she at? Diamond Gym? They work at Diamond Gym over there in Jersey?
Red
Bank. Okay. Little Perth Amboy, Red Bank
from
area.
Like 300 down to like 250. Yeah.
All right, how about this one, Joe? Resetting the stage today. We're going to watch. We're going to enjoy. Tuesday, again, you got another slate. Wednesday, Team USA comes to play at 8 o'clock. We might have to do a watch party. Who knows? We might get crazy on that.
You're going to do a watch party?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, winning it all. Like, again, Jeff hates on the U.S. I'm not saying they can win it, Joe. 35-1, though, ticket. Boom, boom. Is that going to be included in any parlays for you if they can get it done?
Yeah? I mean, if they get it done, I would take a shot if they get it done. I mean, you want to pull the trigger now at 35-1? It's not bad value, but I mean, are you going to go right here, right now against Argentina? Do you realistically think anybody's going to beat Argentina right now?
Yes. I think France or Spain can knock them off. Who do you got? Like, who do you have winning it?
I'll tell you this. If Germany wins this game, I take a shot on Germany. Yeah. Because, again, I don't think a lot of people think, because of how they played up into this point, a little erratic, not as dominant, I would take a shot on Germany to potentially strike the upset over Argentina in that situation.
Right. One last question here before we get to our guest here, and then we can start talking some Phillies baseball, which is what I really want to talk about, Joe. FIFA Golden Boot winner, Joe, equivalent to the MVP. Messi, now the odds-on favorite, -105, followed by Mbappe, Dembele, Vinicius, and Harry Kane. By the way, Harry Kane, 18-1 out here. Tree Lions, boy. Tree Lions, Joe.
I mean,
Where's El Tree? Where's El Tree out here? Let me go all the way down little El Tree of Mexico. Where's the Mexican guys on this list? You can't bet Mexicans in the United States here? What is this, Joe? What is this? We have no favor on the boot for Mexico? What?
Well, let me ask you, out of the names that you said, right? Messi, Vinicius, who would you be willing to take a shot on? I would take a shot on the Brazilian, Vinicius.
Vinicius 16-1. How about this? It's always tough. Now Joe, we got a guy that's cruising somewhere out in the Atlantic. We don't have to mention any names, but he used to always like this when I asked this question. Yeah, you can't bet Mbappe or Dembele because they play for the same team and people split the votes. So I can't go France. Argentina, Messi, Vinicius, Brazil, but something like Holland and Kane, man. Two galactic knights out there might get it, though, you know?
I mean, look, again, here's the thing. Messi, front runner, right? What has he scored in 7 straight consecutive games in the World Cup? Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. He's like the Tom Brady. Yep. So he's got 6 goals scored in this tournament. Again, Vinny Jr. wins today, and he hits a couple of goals. I don't think they're going to win, but if they get through Japan, then he's worth a shot.
Look, betting on Ronaldo, Joe, going to get you this.
Ronaldo's done. He's punched himself out. I'll say it right now.
Dembele. And by the way, the chat, like the crossing lines moderator is getting on me, Joe. Dembele sounds, he says Dumbelly, not Dembele? What's wrong with Dembele? Yeah. Come on.
Donnie, you're killing pronunciation. I'm not going to get involved. People butcher my name. They call me Lisa, Lizzie.
Or they call you just, or they think your name is just Joe Lisi, like you have one name together.
Well, you know that story.
All ones. I love that story. We might get to that here. All right, let's have some fun. Look, the vibes are high right now. Like, follow, subscribe. You're in the chat box. You're having fun. You're watching on Twitter. You're on Rumble. You're on Kick. You're on Instagram, or you're on TikTok. We're out here in these streets. Let's get to have some fun here. We got a guest coming up on the line. Peter Vitale, sports media mogul. Sheffield Shuffler. He's at, look, I already like the hat. You already get bonus points on the hat here. Like, don't worry about it. At least he won't put a hat on with his hair. We'll wear hats around here.
No, that's not
guys
true.
Love hats.
Yeah.
I'll wear a hat. Absolutely. Love the Phillies hat, by the way. And the Phillies are hot, right? 1-5
you'd love my, who's that? We got a Mike Schmidt shirt.
Michael Jack? Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Jack, long hair, wavy hair, jumping in the pile, 1980. Let's get and have some fun. Pete, where you been? What you got cooking? Let us know as we start the conversation off.
Oh, man, I've just been enjoying the 2 separate seasons that the Phillies have been having. Yeah. It was the 9-19 start, the dead-in-the-water Phillies, the no hope, the bottom of the NL East, and then they pulled the old trick out of the bag, the old Joe Girardi, get rid of the skipper, and now we have new life with Don Mattingly. So it's been a new season since he got here and taken over as the manager of the Phillies. And it's just been so enjoyable to watch these guys win brick by brick and putting together such a great stretch of games while he's at the helm there. And now we are 3 games out of first place from the Braves.
Yeah, they told us, by the way, what are you going to do if you change a manager? Nothing's going to change. I don't know. Maybe the best record in baseball since Don Mattingly has become that manager. But also at the same time, the Phillies handled the Mets over this weekend here. The Phillies have been the comeback kids against the NL East this week altogether with the Washington National Series. But I always like to bask in the glory. Like, we are Phillies fans that we get to watch and have fun with. But you know what? At the same time, the Mets absolutely sucking is fantastic, Pete.
Yeah, that's been, and you know what's awesome too is sometimes you don't realize how blessed you are until you're removed from a situation, aka Bo Bichette. Look at what we were so upset when the Mets came in the middle of the night and called Bo Bichette and said, we'll give you over $40 million a year, Bo. Come play for us. And he goes and stinks out in Queens. We don't need him. So now that we're removed from the situation, it was a blessing in disguise. And one thing I wanted to mention about Don Lee, I watched the Mets broadcast. The Mets broadcast mentioned that they interviewed Brandon Marsh, and Brandon Marsh went into detail about what happened when they let Topper go and Don Mattingly came into the clubhouse to take over. He said they got all the guys together, and he said, I'm sick and tired of not hearing anybody yelling in the dugout. I don't care what your name is. I need you to fight for me from innings 1 to 9. So leadership is vital. No matter what you think about MLB managers, leadership does make a difference, and it lit a fire under their tuchus, and now they are where they are.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, when you think about it, they're 16-8 in the month of June. And to your point, they've won 5 of the last 6 against the Nationals and Mets. That's where I want to go because they've won tough road games. And even though the Nationals and the Mets, Pete, are at the bottom of the NL East, those are games you need to win because when you look at last year, they were just basically a 500 team on the road at 41-40. The fact that they're taking care of business, even though they're coming from behind, that's got to be a huge factor in the second half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you confidence, right? The Nationals, the most runs scored in baseball, but you pair that with the worst bullpen in baseball, 23 blown saves, worst in baseball. So the fact that they can win in multiple ways, right? That's what we love to see, those gritty games. That's why Joan Duran has, 20 saves because they're able to get that late inning scores, go into extra innings. Derek Hill, I mean, come on, who is this guy? He comes up, he's making catches over center field. He's hitting go-ahead home runs. So being able to win late in games is just, I think, gives this team confidence to say, it's not over. I didn't hear no bell, So it just makes it really exciting.
Oh, but by the way, Pete, I was watching Rocky IV last night, which maybe is like a weekly occurrence in my house. So I'm
Rocky
ready to rock and roll.
IV?
Yeah, Rocky IV. I love Rocky III and Rocky IV. They just auto on repeat here, which means they didn't hear no bell.
Yeah.
Let's go back 3 weeks, Pete. Atlanta Braves. Ding, ding. It's over. Like they ran away and they're going to hide, and the Phillies are out here just looking for the wild card. Oh, no. Looking in that rear view. What? They're the Phillies 3 games back. How about that?
And they're going to take over the division before the All-Star break. The Phillies have 2 full weeks of playing teams that are under 500. Yep. They don't play a team with a winning record for 2 weeks until the All-Star break. The Braves, 4-12 in their last 16 with their starting pitchers, an ERA of over 6. They are falling apart at the seams. Yeah, they got Chris Sale, but who's going to pitch game 2 in a series? Martin Perez? Yep. Give me a break. I'll take our starting staff over theirs any day. Yeah. Braves on the downfall. These are 2 teams going in different directions.
Yes.
I did want to ask you, Pete, when you look at the lineup, right, outside of Harper and Schwarber, the 2 big guns, we know Marsh is playing well. He's batting .321. Is there another player that you want to see maybe come alive? Is it Bohm? Is it Real Muto? Is there another player in that lineup that potentially can be that spark plug for the offense?
Well, when you look at the lineup, you got to get production from your 4-hitter, right? Alec Boehm had a very slow start to the season, but historically, he's racking in close to 100 RBIs. 2 years ago, he had a very good season. So you're going to need production from the 4-hitter. That's going to give Bryce Harper protection in that lineup, so he's going to be able to see better pitches. But honestly, I know it's a small sample size, but the addition of Derek Hill, since he's got here, I checked the day before yesterday, he's hitting .350. I know it's only like 12 games, but to think they are paying $30 million for right field for 2 guys who aren't on the team, Castellanos and Adolis Garcia. And then they bring in Derek Hill, and he's been a very good addition quietly, but still the production at the bottom of that lineup. JT Realmuto, you're going to get him defensively. That's kind of why they, keep him, his rapport with the pitchers. If he can kind of give you that 250, 260 average, this team is just built around slug. It is what it is. This team is built around like they're bottom 7 average in base. So it's not base to base to base. They're not, going station to station. They're slugging. And that's just kind of what they're going to live and die by. And we've seen that over the last couple seasons.
Yeah, catching fire. The Phillies at the right time right now. And also heading into the All-Star game, which is going to be played at Citizens Bank Ballpark here coming up. And the questions are, Schwarber is going to be in. Harper for a while seemed like a question mark, Pete, but now absolutely ripping the cover off the baseball. The power is back. He's got to be in the All-Star game, right?
Where are the votes, man?
Yeah.
I mean, every offensive category, better than Freddie Freeman, better than Matt Olson. Where are the votes? This is his house. It's his house. And he's having a better statistical season than both of those first basemen. So I don't know. I think is it national hate for Bryce Harper? Everybody outside of our little pocket here that loves him and everybody else hates him. Is that what it is? I don't know.
Probably.
I tell you what, I mean, people hate Philly. That's what it is for me. Pete, when you look at this team big picture, if we're putting them up against teams like the Dodgers to basically compete for a title, where would you stack them up compared to last year? Obviously, last year, 30 games over 500, they win the NL East. Do you still feel confident they make the big show, they can compete with the likes of the Dodgers and Ohtani?
Joe, I'm an optimist, so very different from the media here in Philadelphia. If you remember last season, the Dodgers were petrified to go to their bullpen. They went to Tyler Glasnow. They went to Roki Sasaki against the Phillies because Blake Trinan and Tanner Scott couldn't get anybody out. They were petrified to go to them because they knew what this lineup would do. And I would argue that series, the Phillies and the Dodgers, that whoever won that was going to be the winner of the World Series. I have complete confidence in this team. Are there areas where they need to improve? Absolutely. We need to find a bridge from the starting pitcher to Joan Duran. That middle bullpen piece, that bridge, there needs to be some kind of addition. Brad Keller got $22 million for 2 years. Hasn't been really what he's has been. Orion Kirkering, the Sugarts that have been added. They're kind of up in the Jose Alvarado isn't as reliable, maybe because he's not on PEDs anymore. Shout out Alvarado. But there's places where they can add at the deadline. Of course, they've been wanting a right-handed power bat that plays in the outfield, a back-end starter, maybe a Joe Ryan from the Twins. So anywhere that they add is going to improve this team, but I do not count them out ever. It's the Brewers and the Dodgers that I think are going to give the Phillies the toughest matchup.
Take a look at that National League Cy Young Award market. It's going to be tough to knock off Jacob Misiorowski because he's so filthy, he's so dominant. We got a topic coming up where the dude's throwing like 105 miles an hour. It doesn't even make any sense. But Sanchez has been fantastic. And also, Zach Wheeler, career up in the air with the thoracic outlet syndrome. Didn't know how he would come back or how effective he would be. He's been spectacular at this point. That Phillies pitching staff looks good. Right now, you look at Sanchez, about a plus 390 to win the Cy Young. Once again, going to be hard to take on this. But what's been your take so far on Christopher Sanchez at the top of that rotation and Zach Wheeler back looking like he's as healthy as he ever was here?
I feel bad because Zach Wheeler has been so close to capturing the Cy Young multiple years. He came in second place 2 years. And then Christopher Sanchez kind of becomes who he is. So he's kind of outshined him as the ace. But I mean, Zach Wheeler's having a phenomenal, one of the best seasons of his career. We got the best of Zach Wheeler after he came from the Mets. So I'm rooting for Zach Wheeler because that little capstone at the end of his career, because we don't know, right? The thoracic outlet syndrome ended Matt Harvey's career. We're so blessed to get this from Wheeler. He's already talked about retiring after the contract. We don't know how many years we have with him. So it would be special to see Zach Wheeler finally capitalize on that. And he's just kind of been outshined by Christopher Sanchez, who goes 50 and 2/3 innings without recording a run scored. So it's a good problem to have, just to watch them.
Yeah, we'll see. Jesus Luzardo pitched well yesterday, too, for the most part. I do want to talk about Schwarber, 30 home runs, 54 RBIs. We talked about him potentially, obviously, for the All-Star, but big picture, Pete, can he obviously lead MLB in the home run race, and does he have the potential to maybe break a record here?
Yeah, I think he's on pace for 58 home runs if I checked yesterday, which would be a career high for him. Yeah. Fastest to 30 home runs in Phillies history, ahead of Mike Schmidt, who's a couple days short. It was like 84 games versus 87 games. So he absolutely can do it. And the thing I love about Kyle Schwarber and why he's worth $150 million, even though he doesn't play a position, is he's a game changer. The second he walks in the box, the score can change. So this could be a career season for him. He doesn't play a position, so that's going to be even better for the longevity of his career, being healthy and just doing what we need him to do, which is hit bombs. So I am always rooting for Kyle Schwarber. I don't know if you guys noticed, but sometimes I get told I look like Kyle Schwarber. Yeah. And it's my favorite compliment. Yep. I'm like, absolutely. I love it. So yes, he has that ability to turn the game over on its head. And, it's going to be exciting. I mean, Murakami, he got injured. He kind of fell off. At the beginning of the season, Vladimir Guerrero, one of the favorites. He's got like 4 home runs this season. That kind of fell off. So Kyle Schwarber, someone's got to catch him. He's the man at the front of the race.
Anything you like today, Pete, on the card that's catching your eye at this point right now?
The Red Sox just sweep the Yankees at home.
That's pretty crazy.
Ranger Suarez on the bump today, going against the Nationals. We mentioned the Nationals. Most runs scored, but the worst bullpen in all of baseball. Also, Ranger Suarez has 8 career wins against the Nationals, which is the most against any team in his career. I just think the boys are bumping. They got 3 lefties in the rotation, 4 lefties in the rotation, 3 rookies. So I think the boys are just bumping right now, and I love Rangers. So I like the Red Sox tonight.
Peter Vitale, good catching up with you. Let the people out there know where they can catch up with you across social media.
Everything Sheffield Shuffler, Instagram, TikTok. You'll see my ugly mug on there.
There you go. All set and ready to go. I look like Phillip Rivers. Joe looks like he's in the mob. And Pete over there looks like Mr. Schwarber. And away we go. Pete, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it here on Crossing Lines. We're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to get back with more hot topics on the other side. Breaking news. Well, it's always breaking news. Joe Lisi's here on the show. It's your boy DRS chat box. We're ready to pop off now, right? So we just talked some. I can talk Philadelphia Phillies every single day. Anybody that comes on the show and is down with the Philadelphia area, we love it here. But Joe, we got news out here.
All right.
O.J. Simpson. Well, it's not news that do we have to say he passed? Do we have to say allegedly anyway that he killed 2 people? I guess you have to say allegedly. Still, I don't know what the legality is at that point. But let's just go with the allegedly here. O.J. Simpson was the first player, I believe, for the Buffalo Bills to be put on the Wall of Fame. NFL rumors tweet. He's not going to be carried over to the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame in the new Highmark Stadium, I should say. Simpson was the first player inducted to the team in 1980. So correct me if I'm wrong. He went on that wall, and Buffalo can't win jack, Joe.
Well, that's part of it, Donnie, but I think it's also perception for O.J. Simpson, right? They're opening up, $3 billion, $4 billion stadium this year.
Horrible, by the way, Joe. Horrible.
By the way, it's terrible. We are now relegating NFL football, which used to be the creme de la creme, to where we need it in perfect elements. There's no home field advantage, the wind, the gust, everything that made Buffalo unique and made them blue collar. We're going to take it away just like we did the Minnesota Vikings and all of the other teams. It's absolutely ridiculous. That aside, they're doing it for public appeal. Let's be honest. I mean, because if we're talking just potentially star players, O.J. Simpson is deserving to be on that wall, rushing for 2,000 yards in 13 games, 14 games? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Eric Dickerson did it in 16 games. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. But we talk about perception, we talk about dollars, and we talk about people going to a stadium where they don't want any type of controversy.
But I agree with that. Like, he should not be up there anyway. Like, you're taking the Heisman away. Like, you can't, hey, let's look back at the great players and moments. When OJ's on the screen, people don't first think of OJ as running for 2,000 yards. They think of OJ as the alleged killer of 2 people here and got away with it here. That's what they think of most times. So for me, I agree with this move. But Joe, I was talking about the curse of it, right? O.J. Simpson is now removed. You go to your new stadium here. I think the gloves will be off. But also, where did we get the notion where, we want to build big toasters as stadiums here? There's a toaster out in the desert in Arizona. There's a toaster in MetLife, which is the worst-looking stadium in the NFL. And then you go the Buffalo Bills. If you would make me or you in charge of a Buffalo Bills new stadium, I'll tell you, shit ain't looking like that, Joe.
No, it's terrible. Donnie, I mean, the only other thing that would make this worse, I'll tell you, and I know the team sucks, but if Cleveland goes by the way of a dome, that's it. I won't watch NFL anymore. I mean, we think about the dog pound. We think about
you see my retweet this morning, Joe? Going back to the drive for the Denver Broncos here, and I look at that and I say, that was football at its perfection. Cleveland Municipal Stadium, the dog pound, the ugly jerseys, the bad field, John Elway in here. You're going to put them in a dome? And you know what I saw highlights of, Joe? When the L.A. Rams weren't in the dome in SoFi, where they were still playing at the Come on.
The Coliseum.
The Coliseum, the Coliseum.
Right.
It looked fantastic. Now they play in a dome. It looks terrible, man.
Well,
keep the peace outside.
But let me just say that for L.A., I hate to say it, with Stafford and his veneers, and McVay being pretty boy, that's them. No, we'll talk about them in a little bit, but they are the Ferrari. They don't win an NFC championship. They're going to hear it this year. Let me just say that.
Do away with the domes, man. Do away with it. We're going to get one in Philadelphia coming up. The Lincoln Financial Field is fantastic. Lurie's out here being like, we need a dome over here. Like, Cleveland in a dome is just straight The Bears in a dome is straight disrespectful,
Well,
Joe.
the Bears outside of Soldier Field is a travesty. If
Go
they
back to the old
move
Soldier
that's
Field.
ridiculous. The fact that these NFL owners are appeasing to the TV executives and all the people that buy the $5,000 suites a night, and that's what we're doing. We're appeasing to the casual football fan as opposed to the diehard guys, men and women that watch the game every week, bet on props, and bet and love the sport. I would watch football 24/7. You got to be kidding me.
By the way, some of my favorite times at Eagles games, I was a season ticket holder from 2003 to 2017, were the freezing cold games. Like the snow game against Detroit, I was there. The freezing cold playoff games, the NFC title game, which was in January of 2005 against Michael Vick and the Falcons. It snowed 2 feet the night before. We were frozen in that game, and it didn't matter. Loved it, man. I loved it.
What about the fog game? Remember the fog game?
Yeah, I was a little tyke. The fog game in Chicago broke my heart at that point. Randall Cunningham, Keith Jackson, Keith Byers out there, Reggie White.
That was, and maybe fans will start to realize they think I'm a Homer Eagles and Philly guy. I live in New York, New Jersey, but I hate the Mets, I hate the Yankees, and I root for all things Philly. It's crazy. It's amazing.
We convert people left and right on the show,
and
Joe.
I'm not even from Delco. I'm not from Delco.
No, Kenny's from Delco. He'll pop in here. You'll meet that guy sometime this week here. But by the way, NBA action, Joe, which tomorrow, free agency. People left and right declining offers, trying to sign themselves up. Look at this. Draymond declines option to Warriors, now gives them flexibility for LeBron James. Are we trying to start a hospice care unit for Golden State, Joe?
Yeah,
we'll put you in hospice after
this. Since they won their last title, Donnie, they have tried to go the old way. Durant, right? They had Durant, and then they shipped him out, and then we get all these old guys, and then they had Kuminga, and they started to have a little youth involved, and then all of a sudden they couldn't win because I'll tell you this. I think Steve Kerr is overrated as a head coach. They say he's one of the best. I think he's overrated. He's shown what he's done with less talent. He can't coach them up. So let's just look at this. If they get LeBron and AD, AD can't stay on the court for more than 30 games a year. You're gonna bring him with Steph Curry and an aging Warriors team? Absolutely pathetic. This team is absolutely gutless. And if they go that route, sell. Sell
it out the building. By the way, again, it's over in Golden State. I know you want to hang on and maybe you can sell some tickets, but getting the band back together with aging veterans, it does not work out. Like, it's not the 1983 Phillies who were called the Wheeze kids, how old they were, and ended up losing to the Baltimore Orioles. So when I take a look at this, it doesn't matter what you do here. You should be moving on and trying to get rocking and rolling. Another one, Miles Bridges traded to the Suns. Now, when I think Miles Bridges, I think felony offense here for domestic violence. But as long as you can shoot hoops, Joe, it's okay. You're going to make millions of dollars. Nothing else matters here, but Miles Bridges on the move.
Well, So Miles Bridges paired with Booker and that crew, do you think he just X's and O's? Does he elevate Phoenix to a contender? I don't think so. I mean, he helps, obviously, potentially, right? I mean, he helps slightly. I mean, but you're losing Grayson Allen and O'Neal in the mix. So you're taking away pieces. Again, when these teams make moves, it should be in addition to. Right? It should be like, okay, we're acquiring Bridges to be a cherry on top as an added dimension. They're just stuck in neutral. So again, I don't think this helps Phoenix from the X's and O's side. And again, when you talk about the off-the-court situation, that just brings more negative criticism and exposure to the Suns. Doesn't help in any capacity. And again, have you helped out your star player, Booker, getting them closer to a title? No.
Nope. No, absolutely not. And how about this other jobber, to use a wrestling term here? James Harden, who's won nothing and never will anything. Hey, 40 plus million ain't good enough for me. I'm going to see if I can get even more action involved. Look at this, decline of $42.3 million for the 2026-2027 season with the Cavaliers, meaning he's probably going to re-up with Cleveland for even more money. So I guess they won't be looking to get LeBron James in a homecoming here. James Harden, man, give me player. Absolutely.
You know what he is, Donnie? His nickname should be the human anchor because he drags down any team that he plays on. And I understand they elevated this past year, and he played a little bit better than he has in years past. But it's just the body language to him, and just knowing his body of work and delivering a title in recent years to these teams that have acquired him has been a negative. So why would you want him in the locker room? He declines. I would ship his ass out. I mean, do you really need James Harden in your lineup? I don't think so.
Everywhere he goes, they don't do anything. So I guess it's just, hey, hold on. But again, what a world you're like. I don't want to make $40 million this year. I'm going to opt out of that because I'm going to double it over the next 2 to 3 years at this point. NBA money is crazy. You don't have to win anything. You have to win anything.
Donnie, 10 times that. Compound it.
Guys just stacking up. Now, here's one of these breaking news things that we have to watch out for because in the summertime, Joe, there's like a day or two where nothing is going on, which means you have the ESPY Awards at ESPN. Best male athletes. The list is here, Joe's 4-pack. Shohei Ohtani, Matthew Stafford, Jalen Brunson, and Lionel Messi. Look at that list here. Again, who are you voting for?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I would take a shot on either Messi or Brunson.
Come on. It's got to be Ohtani. Ohtani should win anytime Ohtani's in the award. Champions last year, dominant, 50 bombs.
That's it. He pitches and he hits, so just give him the award. That's it. You just give it to him. That's it, right?
Matthew Veneer Stafford's in there. Come on now.
Stafford, come on. Why is Stafford
You know how the wife motivates him? Why? Do you know how his wife motivates him, Joe? Says, I'm going to hook up with the team's other quarterback.
She goes on a podcast
exactly.
and
I'm going to go on a podcast and be like, Matthew's out there. I like the other quarterback. He's hotter. And boom, MVP season incoming.
His name was Joe Cox, I think. It was Joe Cox from Georgia back in the day.
Did that guy ever see the field? Like, what happened there? Was he like Mox? Was he like Mox down there in West Canaan?
Back in the day, he threw for like 500 yards against Miss State or Arkansas. He had a huge performance. But no, why Ohtani? Why not Messi? Messi is like Tom Brady. If he wins a World Cup, come on. He's on pace. Brady's
still reeling, Joe, by the way, for losing Giselle. The guy's spiraling out of control.
He's hanging out with
I feel he's spiraling.
He's hanging out with
Alex Earl moved on, though. I thought more pictures.
Jenks, by the way, in Jersey.
What about A-Bar?
2 weeks
What are they
ago.
doing over there?
No, she had a special skinny drink promotion at Jenkinson's in Jersey. She was hanging out. I was thinking about putting the phone down and just walking over. No tank top.
Thoughts in action at this point. By the way, over this next 8 days, we're going to get Joe's opinion on some of these thoughts out here hanging out.
There we go.
If they should be hanging out or not. So the party's we're greasing the wheels right now as this show is going to go off the tracks. But Joe, and I know you like this, and your buddy Mike Carver probably was really enjoying it. I didn't give a damn, but this morning you had Victor Hovland winning the Travelers Championship on a Monday over Scheffler, who can't win anything now, Joe. Loser. What happened? Loser. Big loser.
So I went to the beach yesterday. I walked around, right? It was nice from like 3 o'clock on. And I had dinner when you and I spoke at like 7 o'clock. And I was right in front of the Travelers. And I watched Scotty Scheffler, who at the time he was 21 under, headed into, I think, hole 14. And he blew it, Donnie.
Yeah.
He overshot the hole. He lost his mojo. He punched himself out. I don't know what happened. He can't win anything. He doesn't have the eye of the tiger. You know what it is? He got fat. You know what? You like Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, right? He doesn't have the eye of the tiger. You want to see me?
Scared. Because I'm scared.
Break me down? You want to break me down? I'm afraid. That's why. That's what happened. Why? There's me. There's the kid. I got you. I got the kid. Maybe that's what happened.
And then all of a sudden in Rocky 4, it's like, again, Adrian was trying to keep him down, but he's just trying to fight through. It's like, look, this ain't everything, Adrian. The money, the house, the cars, that ain't everything. That's sports right there, Joe. That ain't everything.
Do you remember the song that they played when he went?
There's no easy way out. It certainly wasn't this song right here, Joe. Get a little bit of this. It certainly wasn't that jam. You know what I mean? Come on now. You know what I mean? They weren't dancing out there in the streets.
There's no easy way out.
Yeah.
No, when he went into the gym, it was take you back.
Yeah, the Frank Stallone's on the corner. Hey, Frankie, send me something here. Guy gets a swig of the wine and carries Adrian off there. Come on. Yo, Adrian. It is. Look, we're going to go over some Rocky 3, Rocky 4. But that's nice. Little breaking news section here, Joe. As we transition over to a little handicap in the Major League Baseball card today. Got a lot of games on the card. And I got a couple here, Joe, circled out. Now, here's what we always like to do on the show. Like some best bets here to have some fun. But again, at Go for the Two on Twitter. If Joe's got plays, they'll be out there as well. Same thing, we will make sure we at Crossing Lines, which is Crossing Lines with the X in the middle. Official plays there. Cheer him on. I am, Joe, smoking hot. People in the chat box, they understand it here. We are riding burner accounts right now on the RBI props show. All plus monies across the board. Team totals out here. Damn it on the money lines, Joe. We go for the plus money props.
So I don't play the props as much as I play totals, right? And I've been pretty hot in the totals. I haven't been putting them out, but there are two totals for me that do stand out, Donnie. So here's the thing. You know that the Pirates have been hot. They've been scoring runs.
They have.
They scored 9 runs against the Reds. And we know about the Phillies. They really didn't trend to the over with the Mets in that series. Every game.
Look at that. We got graphics ready for you, Joe. Keep going. Look at that. Let's go.
So this total... Now, you know,
I got some action on this.
When you watch the Phillies and Pirates square off, the interstate matchup, the Phillies smash them most of the time. They break out in a big way. I think they match up well against Ashcraft. I'm taking over 8.5, but I'm moving it to 10.5. I think this is one game that the Phillies actually break out offensively. You might see 8-9 runs from the Phillies alone in this matchup. We might get into the 15, 16 runs. So that's one matchup. The other matchup I like, Donnie, and it's Miami. But Colorado, typically in game one of series, they've been tacking a 12 or an 11.5 on these games, and these games have been trending to the under. Go through all of them. Go through the last few series. San Francisco, you look at these games in Colorado, they're under the 11.5. I think the Marlins break out. Two garbage teams for the most part. Marlins are third in the NL East, but I think they go through this total in a big way. They smash Colorado. I'm going through the 11.5 as high as 14.5 later tonight as a bailout game. Look
at that little infomercial right there. By the way, let's focus on this Phillies-Pittsburgh Pirates game today because I want to focus on this. We had Pete on talking earlier and taking a look around. You can't be homers in this environment. You know me, Joe. I love the Phillies and I will root on the Phillies. But if it doesn't make sense to take the Phillies, I'm not even talking money line. Like, I only want to root for Phillies angles. No, not the case here. Aaron Nola is a bad pitcher, particularly, Joe, to left-handed batters. So if we take a look, so I'm going to go zoom in here to last 30 days. Let me clear my throat real quick on that. See that, Joe? I use the mic like... now you can hear me right there. It's professional right there. To lefties, Joe, the last 72 lefties that he faced.
Look at this.
A 377 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 414. It's Richter scale off the charts horrendous. And not only that, all season long he can't get lefties out. So let's go over the anticipated lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates today. Not official yet, but here's what we think it's going to be. Brandon Lau, Brian Reynolds, Ryan O'Hearn, Endy Rodriguez, Tyler Callahan, and Jake Mangum. The reason I mention all those players, Joe, 7 of those, they're lefties. They're lefties in the lineup today. So if you're telling me I'm going to get at least 6 to 7 left-handed batters going up against Nola, you got to be kidding me they're going to hit. So me, Joe, you said, well, you could take a team total, which is usually like minus 120, minus 125, or maybe money line play on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nonsense here. Nonsense. Lau, plus 161 to get an RBI. Reynolds, plus 165. You know as it goes, Joe. 1-1, that's a nice day. 2-0, a perfect sweep, that's big-time money. For me, I'm attacking Aaron Nola with 2 lefty batters. Lau and Reynolds, who are probably going to bat 2 and 3 in that lineup. Give me one of those RBI, and they might get it in the first inning, Joe.
I love to.
85 degrees, double-digit winds blowing out the center field here. Give me 2 RBI props in this game with the Titans.
Well, that goes into my over, so I'd love to see it, Donnie. I think, again, when I see the 8.5 for a Philly game, typically it's either you watch the Philly games, it's 7.5 when there's a strong matchup, or 9.5, 10 when they expect it to match up well. The 8.5 to me is a cheap number, especially with a lineup in Pittsburgh that's hitting the crap out of the ball. So I like that. And they stepped up yesterday. So again, I like that matchup. Hopefully they come through and we blow right through this total.
Now, let's take a look, too. Just want to back up on one of the games. First game that's going to start off today, Joe, 6:35 p.m. Eastern, down in the charm city of Baltimore. It's the Chicago White Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Here's my angle on this one. Shane Baz is a decent pitcher. But again, Joe, he can't get left-handed batters out. It's an epidemic around Major League Baseball. So let's take a look at the lefties over the past 60 he's faced, Joe. 226 ISO against 353 weighted on base percentage. On the season, 185 ISO, which is slightly elevated, 349 weighted on base percentage. Not good enough. But again, the angle I just told you about the Pittsburgh Pirates lining up lefties against Nola because he can't get him out. Looks like the White Sox, Joe, probably going to do the same exact thing today. Antonacci, Teal, Benintendi, Montgomery, another They got Colson Montgomery and Braden Montgomery in the lineup. Wow. Peters and Gonzalez. We're looking at 7+ left-handed batters in the lineup today, Joe. So instead of saying, hey, Joe, where are we going to split this up on, like taking RBI props? Nonsense. Over 4.5 team total, plus 100, not laying any juice. 5 runs for the Sox today. Black Sox, let's go.
Well,
bring it up.
You hope that they break out the way they did, 23 runs or 22 runs against the Royals on Friday night? I mean, that was a great performance. The only thing I don't like total-wise for me is that it's across multiple places, it's basically even money for 9.5. Anytime, if you watch these totals, and I joke around, I think when you see the 9.5, 10, Donnie, you think that Major League Baseball is using the hard shell with the styrofoam middle. Give me the 7.5, 8.5. To alt over potentially because those have a tendency to fly through the total. But I like the look. Again, White Sox, I think, match up well. Let me ask you this because I didn't get a chance to ask you this. When I asked Pete about Schwarber and big picture, outside of Schwarber, do you think, and tell me if this look is wrong, Pete Alonso at 19 home runs, take a shot if you could find it for him to lead the MLB because right now they're not playing well, Baltimore. And
he's heating up though. Pete's playing really well. Yeah,
but that's my point. Yeah. The team sucks. He's heating up, and no pressure. So if Schwarber's in these matchups where they have to obviously compete with Atlanta and they're trying to win a divisional title, and Baltimore is just playing these games 9-10 runs per game, and Alonso's just sitting fat and just relaxed, he has the potential to break out. Maybe he can catch him.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad. And also, there's injuries in Major League Baseball. People miss some time. Aaron Judge going to run away with it. No, he's not. Guy can't even get back on the baseball diamond. He's not going to do that. So there is always optimism where if you could just stay hot for long enough, some guys a cold streak for 2 weeks, it does make some sense here. And by the way, chat box popping here. Why? World Cup game just underway, Brazil and Japan. Anything changes in that game, we'll let you know. And of course, the chat box will be getting after it as well. Joe, Padres and the Cubs game. Another one, Joe, it seems like it's trend today. I'm a left-hander, and we are picking on pitchers that can't get lefties out, Joe. Griffin Canning on the mound for the San Diego Padres. How about this? His last 57 batters he's faced, Joe, 292 ISO, 458 weighted on base percentage. That's 2 lefties. This combination for me has been sexy, Joe, the past couple weeks. PCA and Ian Happ, 2 lefties in the lineup. Look at, Joe, Pete Crow Armstrong. I'm just going to do a little background for you on this. You have Major League Baseball. If you are a power hitting player, you want to be at least like that 165, 150 to 175 in that range or over. That means you're positive. That means you're doing damage at the plate. Pete Crow Armstrong's last 88 at-bats, Joe, against right-handed pitching, 468 ISO. It's 3 to 4 times higher than the average in baseball. He's going to be on my card. Plus 122. It's cheaper because he's probably going to get it done with one swing of the bat. Ian Happ in the middle of that lineup, Joe. 246 ISOs. They have 75 at-bats against right-handed pitching. He's at a plus 128. Once again, give me both of them. That's sexy. Give me one of them. That's still gangster, Joe. Still gangster. Get one of them.
Donnie, you love you're the guru with the baseball. Yeah. I love the look, and PCA, obviously one of the best players. Yeah, he's heating up. Huh. I will say, Carver got to me earlier, and he texted me, and I hate this when everybody knows is that wind blowing out. And that's why you're seeing the 11.5. Now, last time I did this with the Cubs, it was a dead under. They could barely get 8 runs. And San Diego, to me, is a team so inconsistent. To tease that lineup, Machado, for me, in big spots, they have not been there, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, they were starting to hit a little bit, and then this past weekend, again, they fall down like a dart. It's terrible. I like Chicago in the matchup, but I can't get to the 11.5 early. Yeah. I'd much rather play it like after 3 or 4 innings if we have no runs, or let's say Chicago's up 2 or 3-0, take an abbreviated or an altered number, 8.5, 9.5. I'll take a shot there.
Take it shot. And by the way, Houston Astros and the Minnesota Twins. Now, you say to yourself, like, sometimes you got to give the people a game that you don't love, and you got to tell them the reasons why. Zebby Matthews on the mound here for the Minnesota Twins, right-handed pitcher. And again, Joe, everything lays out. His last 79 batters he's faced from the left-hand side, he's getting cracked. But here's the issue. I look at the lineup for the Houston Astros. I got Yordan Alvarez. He's fantastic. He's a lefty. Great. Joey Loperfido and Taylor Trammell. That's 3 lefties in a lineup that, again, hits right-handed pitching extremely well. But I want angles to play. You flip this over on Houston and give me 7 lefties, I'm in. But since they don't have that, Joe, it's one of those games where I go, man, if I had more lefties in the lineup, we could get down to business here. And I can't do it, Joe. So sometimes you got to give the people like, well, why doesn't it make some sense if this guy's getting cracked by lefties? You need more lefties in the lineup, man. You can't just play it blind out here in these streets.
No, you can't. And I will say this, Donnie, the team with the highest percentage of totals in Major League Baseball is the Minnesota Twins, trending at an incredible rate of 64%. 50, 30, and 5 to the over. That's a huge – and Houston's no joke either. They got wrapped around yesterday by Detroit in that matchup. They're at 54%. But again, you mentioned the lineup. That matters. I'm not jumping in total-wise. I would lean to the under overall just because, again, Minnesota's been a bet-over team from the start of the year now. They've been coming on. I would take the under or no play right now. That's the way I look at it. If potentially in-game you get a short number, 5.5, 6.5, and you want to jump in then, that's fine. But I can't do it pre-pitch right now for this matchup.
Yeah, take a look, too. 5-pack for me. Got 4 RBI props. Got 1 team total again. At Donnie Rightside here, at Crossing X Lines. I'll be tweeting that later. They'll hit the retweet button on that. And if you're watching again, people, we're building this thing one by one. Comment, subscribe, and like. Shout out Rumble right now, who's rumbling. Shout out Kick, getting their ass kicked over there. I love it, man. Sign up, relax with us, have some fun, because you know what time is now, Joe? Captain's out of the way. Time to get some of those trending topics in, which includes Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I thought this was fake. And you see the Pop Crave tweet here, Joe. I thought they were throwing people off the scent. Yeah. Now we're putting in so we can have July the 2nd through the 4th. We want streets closed down by MSG so we can have our wedding at Madison Square Garden. I still feel it's not real, but the more information I keep getting, they're actually going to get married at Madison Square Garden, Joe. I'm baffled by this. I am.
So
I'll be a Mike in those grease.
They're doing this week. Why do they have to do it in New York? I mean, tell me why.
Go to Kansas City. Have any street you want out there in that bumble town.
California? I mean, what about in SoFi? They love the Hollywood atmosphere. Why does it have to be New York? You know why, Donnie? Because it's all about me. They're both about me.
Where are they going? St. Patrick's? They get married at St. Patrick's, driving down the street then? What are they doing?
I mean, it's possible. 51st Street, if you want to go down there. It's a great, cathedral, iconic, I mean, they go to Cipriani. Where are they going after for the
and again, like the one thing they said they had a $20 million budget for this wedding. Now understand this. When you go to a nice restaurant, Joe, right? There's a certain amount of seating here, they got a certain amount of chefs. So you go to a high-end steakhouse, you're getting a good steak that's going to be just cooked here. Joe, you can't cook for 1,000 people with steaks and have everything come out perfect at this point. So are we going to be, like, food-wise, sort of a downgrade here in one of the cities with the great foods in the world? Come on.
I mean,
a heated-up steak from Peter Luger's in the microwave?
Now, the last time you and I hung out, we were at a wedding, and the food was amazing.
It was good.
And so the thing is, if you're going to do a wedding like that, where you're going to have A-listers and you're going to have players, Pat Mahomes, and you have people making $50, $100 million a year. You better you better get the best steak and the best cuisine possible. Nobody cares about them getting married, the actual event. We care about the food. It's the food. I don't understand.
Also, when you sit back and relax and you say to yourself, all right, so I'm going to have a wedding here at MSG. Like usually, like weddings are supposed to be intimate, where you're bringing your best friends, your best family, extended family there. If you're going to MSG, you're looking to bring what? A G note in there worth of people? You might not even know them at this point here. And also, if you are invited to Taylor Swift's wedding, you got to bring the envelope? Or is it like these people make enough? Like I should be getting an envelope when I enter, like with $500 in it for my back pocket.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna like Mahomes is gonna drop like what 20,000 in an envelope.
Yeah, what's he buying them?
What if the chicken sucks? What if the steak sucks? You take 10 grand out? I mean,
you know what you do, Joe? You bring in the trucks, the street trucks, and you sort of like drive around the arena at that point, right? Where it's almost like, you have like, do you ever see the Chinese restaurants there where they just send out the soup around? You pick it and you just charge it to your bill. Is that what it probably is like?
Well, here's the other thing, Donnie, and don't get offended because I know you're a
Why
big
would I
Philly
get
guy.
offended?
Well, because I'm gonna. Do we really need to see the Kelces everywhere? I mean, Mom Kelce. I turned on Netflix. She's on she's hunting for $1 million. She's doing they have her as a guest. She's a contestant on a show to win $1 million. Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce's mother. We need to see her.
You need garage beer. Are they going to serve garage beer at this?
I mean, come on.
Now, by the way,
Donnie.
Joe, insiders here with TMZ, like you saw the exclusive, right? You make a lot of money. Who's getting the exclusives of this?
I mean, it would.
Is Neon going to be inside with the microphone? I mean, who's actually doing this?
Did you see what happened
live
with Neon?
streaming?
Did you see Neon and Najee Harris? Some drunk guy went to Najee, and Najee said he was going to knock him out in San Francisco. So
people getting violent. By the way, is this go off without a hitch, though? So we're talking about and again, like a 4th of July wedding.
Not.
It's the 250th anniversary of the country. They're getting married. Why are they trying to upstage this?
No. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The Knicks just win the title, and now they have to go back to MSG. First time in 53 years they want an event like the parade in New York. I mean, really. Now, did you see the rumor that they're saying she's pregnant? I don't know if that's true.
It's got to be true, though, right? Like, we got to be starting this up. And by the way, Joe, you know as well as I do, like, we're still honeymoon phase with these guys before they didn't get married. I play football 8 months of the year. I'm traveling the world 8 months of the year, like on my tour. What's going to happen, Joe, where they're just in the same house for months at a time? That's not good. No, it's not good.
It's not a good look, and they're going to wind up hating each other probably, right? I mean, what happens when Kelce retires after this year and she's like, you're just sitting around? What are you doing? Can't you work on the deck?
Like Gone Girl. You know what I mean? Just sitting around here. I'll buy you a bar at this point.
He's watching Love Island eating Tostitos, and all of a sudden, like, she's going to be
One of the DMs going to get leaked where he's like DMing other women at this point. You know what I mean? It's going to get bad.
Well, that's what happens. Like when you're washed up at the end of the career, even though you're worth $100 million, then it's like she's like, you're not productive enough. You're not doing stuff. You're not trying to better yourself. All of a sudden, he's like, I'm Travis Kelce. That's all well and good. Get a broadcasting gig. Do something.
Joe, you ever hear this term called mogged? What these kids use?
Yeah.
Like this guy's out here mogging me. Now, if you are, looks maxing, clavicular and all them.
Yeah.
Let's get to this next topic. It's Sean McVay, which caught me a little bit off guard. Because when you're a coach, you're led to, you're in the film room. You don't got time for anything but the film room. I'm starting to wonder who's running the Rams at this point right now. Do we have the picture of Sean McVay absolutely jacked with his wife on a boat? Let's see. Pop this up. I don't get it. Like a coach is supposed to be fat. Now, you know what? Downgrade on the Rams season. This guy ain't focused, Joe. He's not focused.
You're
focused.
right. I'll tell you what. He's feeling pressure because remember when he won. Now I'll call BS and I'll call crap on those abs. They're chiseled, but I think he got them like David Guetta. I think he paid for them. I don't know. And I know
like the guy who runs Facebook, Zuckerberg. Like he did that. Yeah.
Like
Bezos.
Right. Yeah. I think they lipoed the obliques and everything else. I will say this. He does work out. Okay, now you had said best looking coach in the NFL. I think Ryan Gosling, Cliff Kingsbury might argue with that. But I'll just say this. Like when he won the Super Bowl and he was thinking about checking out, he said that he would just be irrelevant. He'd be a nobody.
Yeah.
So when you have a supermodel for a wife like she, you got to be in the fast lane, man. Who's going to remember Sean McVay in 2 years? So he's got to keep up with the Joneses. He needs the Lambo. He's got to all of a sudden look smaxing. He should take a hammer and bash his face, and get those cheeks
Make it better.
going.
If it ain't broke, break it, Joe. If it ain't broke, break it. You can always be in better shape. And by the way, you're seeing that picture. There's Diana Rossini right now. She upset. She just saw that picture of McVay. Like, that was, my mom told me that was who was supposed to marry with Jimmy Garoppolo at this point. Like, Rossini's got to be upset that he's out here looks maxing with his model wife.
Well, I mean, that I'll tell you, I'll just say this. The rumor that came out that Rossini had a cinder block foot and used to, there was something on X that Rossini would show cops when she got pulled over. She would FaceTime like Vrabel or some of the other coaches to get out of the ticket. How many tickets did she get? How many tickets was she walking around Wyckoff, New Jersey, doing 75 miles
Didn't
an
work
hour?
for Tiger. Tiger's like, I just got off the phone with the president. That guy was like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? He care. He can't get his ticket.
Who cares?
Put your hands behind your back, man. But by the way, McVay, is this peptides, Joe? This ain't natural. He's not natural. He's not natural. That's not natural.
He's on TRT probably.
Okay.
He's probably on
He's
a
on
little
trend?
little
trend?
He's a little TRT and maybe some some peptides.
And by the way, much easier, Joe, to actually look like that when you are a millionaire and you probably get the best food at every single meal whenever you want. Like, we're not at McDonald's like, hey, man, I got to go a double cheeseburger here just to keep my protein going.
No, I agree with you. And again, here's the thing. The Rams are the it team now. They have Myles Garrett. They have Matt Stafford that they signed to $55 million.
Yep.
You got Devontae Adams and Puka and Blake Corum and obviously Kyron Williams. There is no excuse for this team not to win 13 football or 14 football games and winning that.
He's not focused. He's not focused. He's got a good-looking wife at home. He's jacked up. He's ready for the booth. He's ready for the booth. He's ready. He's gonna kick Olsen down another peg on the CBS rankings list.
Donnie. He's not like 5'11".
He's got to play college football, didn't he? Where'd he go? Miami, Ohio? Where did he go?
Did he?
Yeah.
No,
look at him. Somebody out there look at. I think he went Division I, Joe, lower level. Correct me if I'm wrong out here.
I thought that was PJ Fleck.
I'm telling you right now. Yeah, look that up while I set up this next segment here, because you look at Sean McVay and he's jacked. And it's like, hey, man, that's a great way to look. He's a millionaire. He's having a great life here, and he's a champion here with the Rams. You find it? Sean McVay's college?
Miami.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Come on, Joe. You don't know your MAC conferences? You got Coach Bowden out here in the MAC. You can't follow along?
That was before Coach Bowden was back in the booth in 2004. He wasn't there. But I wonder...
What was it, Acrisure Stadium? What was that stadium?
So he played right after Rottenberger left. Roethlisberger. I call him Rottenberger. All the Pittsburgh Steelers fans
Infocision Stadium? Where were we, Joe, out there in Akron?
That was it. Infocision Stadium. I watched Pittsburgh play there in the pouring rain.
Yeah, there you go. Dating back to college with Joe. Opposite side, jacked up. The best, maybe I should say, the most talented quarterback on the planet. He's not jacked up. And this is a bad look for quarterbacks, Joe. Look at this.
Look at the
little dad carrying a little bit of extra weight right now. He's got the kids. He's at home. He's a minted $500 million from the NFL. You see this guy on TV all the time? Come on.
Yeah. So I'm going to take it a step further, Donnie.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Because maybe I'm the only one that recognizes this. On top of him having a little bit of a Lebron's, little pouch.
Yeah.
Look at the backyard. He's got $480 million. That doesn't look like a...
Is that his backyard? Yeah, what is that?
Well, that doesn't look like the landscaping's in order there.
Why does the grass go right up to the pool? What's that about?
That's turf. That doesn't look like...
Nah, it doesn't.
To me, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That looks... I mean, he's
looks like Kansas. Looks like he's living somewhere in the middle of Kansas, paying attention.
I mean, that looks like they just bought a house and just throw a pool in the back. I mean,
and by the way, what are they trying to make bread back there? What is that, an urn? I mean, come on now, make it. What is that?
With no TV?
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me, does that backyard look good?
They got mismatched chairs back there. Not even essentially.
I'd be embarrassed to show that pic.
By the way, in 20 years, is that kid that's standing to the left of him dominant out here, going to Texas Tech on a big NIL deal? I mean, that's what it's got to be, right?
It's got to be, right? Yeah. If he plays
somebody in the chat box says base winner has a better backyard. Taking shots, by the way. 19 minutes into the game here, Brazil and Japan, Joe. 0-0. The rising sun fighting with Brazil at this point.
I told you that Japan team, they're gutty. Take the under and go plus the 240. I'm telling you, looking good. Where's this Ito? We need this Ito to step
Bring in
up.
Judge Ito here. And by the way, talking about Judge Ito out here, we might need a Judge Ito to try to get a determination on. When I was growing up, guys throwing 92 out here. He's bringing heat. Then when I got a little bit older, guys are throwing like 95 plus. Then you get a little bit older in the Billy Wagner days when I was a Phillies fan. He came to the Phillies. Yo, he just hit 100. Joe, starting pitchers are throwing 105 miles per hour right now. If you haven't been catching in, good luck hitting the Miz out there in Milwaukee, Joe. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
No. Donnie, I'm gonna call. It's all.
You're calling a bluff?
I'm calling. No way he's throwing 105. I don't believe it. Then I want to. If he's throwing 105, I want to go back to the steroid era. Can we get these guys? Because all I see every week in Major League Baseball, first and second, nobody out, no runs, pop out, grind out, strike out. Bases loaded, nobody out. Strikeout, ground out. They can't convert. So if this is true, and the Miz from the Brew Crew is hitting 106 miles an hour, 104 consistently, could we go back to the steroid era so we could smack him around a telephone pole? Could we do that?
I'm telling you, man. You got to, Joe. Again, some people out here getting the credit card debt. Like, is Milwaukee already in debt on prepaying for the the UCL to get fixed up? Little Tommy John. Neil Elitrash got to step into the equation.
Now, remember, when he first came up last year, right, or whenever he came up, he was very inconsistent. He could throw fast, but the location and everything was off, right? He had to learn how to pitch. Now, I mean, Randy Johnson in his heyday was what, 101? 101.3? I mean, I never remember Johnson getting to 105. That's why I think it's all BS. I think it's all BS. I think the guns are. That's like you ever take your temperature. You ever take your temperature? They got these things now. You don't stick the thermometer in your throat. You just put it in your
ass. Where's it go?
Stick it in your ass. Yeah. No, you put it on your forehead. No fever.
Yeah. Anybody out there in the chat box say, you know what? I'm not sticking this under my tongue. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. Get the true core temperature, Joe. You know what I mean? You get a little. When you go to the hospital, and you have hypothermia. They're not sticking it in your mouth, Joe. They're probing other areas, man. See that?
You're nuts.
No, exactly. Now, how about this next story? You want to talk about this, Joe?
Yeah.
Let me do a little back. Like, I never really heard of this guy. His name's Matt Miller on ESPN. There's a huge scandal going on, or maybe a potential scandal with this. Yep. But I think how everybody heard of the story was, oh no, man. Guy that works for ESPN, bad crash, lost his arm, got amputated. That's a shame. I can't believe it. And then it turned into, Joe, it was like, well, doesn't ESPN have good insurance why we have a GoFundMe out here, which was started up that he's going to get money from? Shouldn't they just handle it? And I said to myself, like, boy, like, I'm very callous at times here, but that's crazy. The dude lost his arm. We're going after him. Like, shouldn't somebody else take care of him? Like, hey, you donate $100. Guy lost his arm. Like, heaven forbid he should get 20 grand to, relax and help pay some bills. Then we started going down the rabbit hole of like, why are people getting so angry at this point, and see what we have. Take a look at this, Joe, from a Tommy Callahan tweet. And there's a couple bullet points here. Sleeper charity leagues where he allegedly took 50% plus admin cuts and never paid the winners here. Then we have other ones, Joe. Paid scouting lessons where people sent money up front and then got little to no response on delivery. Annual subscriptions to his scouting sites and newsletters where content stopped, but you kept getting charged here. Like, going down the rabbit hole of now people are saying he got in a bad accident and lost his arm on purpose to then have a GoFundMe to get more money. Insanity in the streets.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I mean, I don't think he did that. I read the story. There could be that he was potentially texting, and obviously he lost his arm. We don't want to see anybody get hurt.
No.
That aside.
Goodness.
Well, I read the story, and like, he's getting bashed. The guy's in ICU recovering. He can't even defend himself. But here's the thing. Like, why did they take a GoFundMe? You're right, because ESPN, you're making potentially 6 figures, 7 figures, right? And he's getting bashed. And he's taking money. So what is he, a degenerate gambler? What is the real... Like, if he's taking 50% admin cuts, is it a Ponzi that he's looking to pay people out to get them off his back? Or is he just
I got to tell you this too. Like, and again, it all, like, in another one here, Joe, it's like the only time that people even got refunds is when they threatened to call ESPN public relations and he promptly refunded their money. So there's a track record of like elevating yourself to a higher pattern and doing this. But again, I don't think anybody is so insane. Like, I need money. Let me smack my car up and lose my arm because this GoFundMe is going to hit hard. But again, just seeing the story evolve at this point where they're saying to themselves, all right, well, GoFundMe, but like, whoa, this guy's an asshole. Don't get like, wow, man, dude lost his arm. You called him an asshole at this point, and he's a cheater. But when you start to go down these, hey, man, I donated for charity, and this guy was just stealing, because everybody's had this. Hey, I'm in a fantasy league with your friends. You give up, let's just say, 10 guys in the league, there's a grand pot. At the end of the year, it's like, all right, everybody get paid. And the guy who had the pot's like, oh, so I'll give it to you in like 3 weeks. Like, 3 weeks? Because the dude spent the money already. It always happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's ridiculous. I cannot imagine this guy did this on purpose. But now that it started in the GoFundMe, the ESPN's going to, once he recovers, ESPN has to get involved, right? This is like another Rossini type of situation. And he's nowhere near anything like, in terms of, I mean, if I said Matt Miller, you would have been like, who?
Yeah, Mac Miller, I would have thought. You know what I mean? Come on. Like somebody else other than this. Jim Miller at this point getting spiked by Hugh Douglas on the field at Soldier Field as the Eagles won a playoff game, but not Matt Miller, but also, Joe, you know what sometimes you fall for? And this is like Elon Musk's Twitter is way different than Jack's Twitter back in the day, right? The real check marks, like the real authority out here where you never had to check sources because you knew the check marks weren't giving out false information. Now you buy a check mark, give out false information, and everybody gets down to business. But Joe, understand this. One of these fake accounts put out and highlighted and typed in Adam Schefter and the GoFundMe gave him $100. And it went loose and went, wow, like, damn, Schefter's so cheap. The dude lost his arm and only gave him $100. Like, people fall for that all the time. The Adam Schefter tweets, man. That was Joe. I almost hit retweet. I caught myself because I kept laughing. Like, there's no way Adam Schefter gave a guy who just lost his arm at his company when he's worth millions $100, man. It got me good.
Well, if he did that, then he's got alligator arms. Like he did it just to save face, but it was probably the Adam Schefter. Right, I fell for that during the regular season.
So good. But yeah, like Jack's Twitter joke, like Elon Musk's Twitter, anything goes. The hate's out here at this point, and he's sort of having a little bit like unplugged. So, topics fire today. Major League Baseball, the picks are on their way. Week 1 of Joe Lisi starting on Crossing Lines here, and we do it every day. Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching live, awesome stuff in the chat box once again. If you're on Twitter and you can't comment, I wish we had all these chat boxes combined. Rumble, Instagram, hit the likes, hit the retweets, hit the follow buttons because we're only going to grow. And Joe's going to be a part of the show even without his hosting duties over the next 8 days. We're going to hit the afterburners in the summer. Capping is going to become hardcore here. We're going to have so many fun options as we enter in the football season, Joe. But how did you feel? Day number 1 coming on where you can be a little like, you can let loose a little bit on this show.
I feel like we're winning together, Donnie. I really do. Hashtag, well, I shook off the ring rust. I feel good. I feel rejuvenated. It feels very good to talk shop with you, and obviously love Jeff and wish him the best out in Vegas. I'll try to keep it down and hold it down as best I can. But
by the way, on him out there in Vegas, Joe, let me get your take on this. I'm not a poker. Are you a poker player at all?
No, I'm blackjack. I like blackjack, and you know me, roulette. I'm a big roulette guy. I like the roulette.
We got to get together and have a crap session.
The eye candy, you got to understand, like back in the day, the eye candy circles around the roulette table.
Because it's easy. It's easy to play.
That's what it is. You get a couple of drinks. Early college football pick. You want?
Yeah. By the way, T-Not, we're going to get those in a second here. Let me tee that up, though. T-Not in the chat box. Let's talk about casino games and what the best plays are, Joe. So, I mean, look at that. TVs are blowing out across the screen here. Joe's having technical difficulties, but at least his mic works today. We appreciate it. But we are going to have a casino segment sometimes this week, Joe, on angles and how we like to play, because I got to tell you, craps is my pick here. But Julian Martin here, back in the behind the scenes, shouted out. We got this from Coach. Early college football pick. Now, I don't know what that means, Joe, so I'm going to leave it up to you. You want to maybe give out a Heisman look? You want to go maybe with a college football team to win it all? Or maybe week 1, week 0?
I'll give both. I've been putting out videos on social media. And yeah, thanks for the question, Julian. I'm high on Alex Golesh in Auburn. You look at the actual schedule for Auburn before they play Tennessee in the first or second week of October. They have the potential to be 4-0, 5-0 heading into that matchup. I think the physicality with Alex Golesh to me is the difference with this team as opposed to what they had with Brian Harsin and Hugh Freeze. Byron Brown's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in college football. I think the defense with DJ Durkin's going to be there. They were one of the best rush defenses in all of college football last year, held opposing offenses to 98 rushing yards per game. They have Jeremiah Cobb there. Even though they lose some talent on the outside, what he's brought in from USF, I think they're going to get through their 6.5, 7 win total. They could be potentially an 8-win football team. And I already like them now in a look-ahead line against Alabama. I think Golesh is good for 2 or 3 wins on that resume. Early Heisman, I'll give Donnie some props. Donnie, everybody's talking about Arch Manning, and we had the Arch Manning camp this past weekend where everybody was talking about John Mateer and everything else. Keep an eye out for Darian Mensah. He potentially is an upgrade from where Carson Beck was. 66% completion percentage, 35 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The kid's a big kid. He's smart. He stepped up in big games last year, had 5 300-yard games. They have Mark Fletcher and obviously Malachi Toney coming back, Marquise Lightfoot. Darian Mensah could steal the show and even be a number 1 overall draft pick by the end of the draft if the Hurricanes knock down the college football playoff door.
By the way, Joe, we are a live show. The land of the rising sun, 1-0 against Brazil right now. You heard that earthquake, people. And I don't know if this is Miguel Sano, but I see a Sano, Sano, in the 29th minute. 1-0. Whoa.
How about that? Take it.
If Brazil gets knocked out, I don't know, there might be World War III starting today, Joe. Right. Brazil gets knocked out, it's over. The women of Brazil are going to have to come up to North America and find themselves a real soccer team like Team USA.
Awesome.
Losers in Brazil. Holy cow.
What a show.
Joe, there you go, man. That'll do it for our first show on the air live. Do you know what the best part about this is? We're going to do it again tomorrow. But once again, if you're watching live, if you're watching on the replays here, hit the retweets, hit the likes, get in the chat box and have some fun. Tomorrow, NBA free agency gets underway. Flash is going to join us tomorrow. Flash Watson, I'll introduce you to him, Joe. You'll love him. Talking some soccer, and away we go on this week. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Lisi. Thank you for tuning in to a Monday edition of Crossing Lines. We will be back tomorrow. See you then.